It's funny how as you look through the garden and you look at some particular types of plants, they bring back fond memories of time past. And in my case, every time I look at these beautiful plants, which are called Hakonechloas or Japanese forest grass, I'm reminded of the very first time that I encountered the first plant of this lovely, lovely grass. That was many, many years ago when I was a young man, eager to learn, and I was lucky to know someone who had a garden filled with all sorts of rare and choice things. And when she took me over and showed me, excuse me, very proudly, her first Hakonechloa plant, I remember thinking, that thing looks like one of those dogs you see at the dog shows. You know, the immaculately groomed little Pekingese that has no head and no tail, and as it moves along, everything moves. Well, that was then, and today I'm glad to say that I grow many of these varieties in my own garden. There are different sorts of them, but this particular variety, which is called Hakonechloa All Gold, is probably the most striking of all of them. With its bright golden leaves, as you see, it really adds a lot of pop and pep to a shady area. Now, it's called the Japanese forest grass because in nature it inhabits mountainous woodland areas where it's cool and moist, and that gives a clue as to how you can grow this variety. Woodland, so it will take some dapple shade. If you put it in deeper shade, you'll find that instead of being bright yellow like this one, it will be more of a green shade. That's fine, but just put it in a little bit more light and you'll find that it will be a brighter shade. Put it out in strong sunlight and allow it to get dried out in the summertime, it's not going to do, and it's going to get damaged. So when you plant it, it's important that you dig in lots of organic matter, because of forest condition, it loves to have lots of compost and airy kind of humus, organic rich soil at its roots. Do that and you'll find you'll get lots of luxuriant growth. Now, the other thing with this is that, as you see, it produces this beautiful kind of arching habit that moves very nicely in the breeze. So it's a great plant for putting in either as a single specimen, or better still, if you've got the space, to put it in a nice grouping. That way you'll really be able to enjoy the shape and character of this lovely plant. Then you can decide where you're going to plant it in your garden and in association with what. For instance, if you look here, you'll see how well it contrasts with the blue, the purpley blue colors of things like veronicas, or perhaps the leaves of some of the bluer forms of hosta. Anywhere where you're able to put it in and contrast it with other lovely plants, you'll find that you'll be able to create all sorts of really magnificent designs with it. If you don't have a garden and you have a shady deck or patio or terrace, this will do well in containers too. In fact, it's very beautiful arching out and falling over the edge of a pot in a shadier location. Just remember, don't allow it to dry out. Keep it growing nice and strongly, and you'll have a beautiful plant that's about 15 or 16 inches high and spreading out to make a clump that's maybe about 18 inches or 20 inches wide. It takes a while, but it will slowly spread out to form a wider rather than taller clump. This is Hakonechloa All Gold, an absolutely beautiful form of the Japanese forest grass that, as you see, is also a hand-picked for you selection, so it comes with that usual extra little bit of reassurance to show that this is a tried and trusted and true variety that does well in your area. This is Hakonechloa All Gold.